Welcome. This week, I took a break from 40K to paint this fantasy model. I'll show you how I got this striking look very easily without washing or blending, as well as how I did the face. Before we begin painting, make sure to work your paint halfway up your brush and to twist in order to preserve a good tip. This will come in handy later when working on finer details. I started by base coating the hard to reach areas, slightly diluting my paint and applying 2 coats to achieve full color opacity. Any protruding details can easily be painted using the side of your brush, making it very hard to stain other areas. A dark brown was used for the leather, and just by mixing a pinch of it with an off-white color, I got a base tone for the socks and feather, allowing me to use the pure off-white as a highlight. Later I'll do the opposite, adding a pinch of white to the dark brown to highlight it. After achieving an even coat of white, I painted the metallics. What I've done so far is simply establishing an even and precise coat of paint to differentiate every element from each other. I could then move on to the face, which will be what catches the most attention. I'll just be using a medium and lighter skin tone to paint it. However, to get a more vivid look, I added a pinch of pink to the medium skin tone, and after diluting it with an equal amount of water, went over the base coat to get some color in the shadows. If one coat isn't enough, you can always do another one. From there, I began highlighting with a 50-50 mix of both light and medium skin tones, focusing on the nose, cheeks, upper lips, and chin. I spent as much time working on the face as in the rest of the model since it is the most eye-catching element, and it'll lift up the paint job as a whole no matter how lazy I am with the rest of it. With the light skin tone, I went over the same highlights but covering less surface. Remember, you don't have to go crazy with smooth blends, since the model will most likely be looked at from afar. However, by taking some medium skin tone diluted with a heavy amount of water, you can bring the highlights together through a glaze. Do 1 or 2 coats, or you might have to touch up your highlights again. Either way, everything comes together once we paint the other elements of the face. Because I am not in a comfortable position while recording, I'll just showcase one of the eyes, starting by filling it with the previous dark brown. This will frame the white of the eye and work as eyelashes. I could have gone for a light brown for a more realistic look since the hair is blonde, but a dark color creates more contrast and can be read as makeup. For the white of the eyes, I drag the brush from left to right and from right to left, basically in a straight line. This will catch the raised round surface, leaving some dark brown around it. Finally, for the pupils, just doing a line from top to bottom will suffice in this small scale, but if you can leave a bit of white showing above or below, you'll get a more realistic look. Because I have such a striking main element, I can now be lazy with the rest of the paint job. I took both a brighter red and blue and applied 2 slightly diluted coats to once again achieve full opacity, leaving some of the previous color showing to work as shadow. No blending or washing, just a solid even coat. I made use of the side of my brush once again to paint the feathers easily with pure white, and as I've mentioned before, added a pinch of white to the brown to pick up some details, especially the hands, which people tend to look at along with the face. After basing, the model was ready. While the paint job might look very good, in reality it's just a base coat plus a layer of lighter color. After painting so much 40K, it was quite refreshing to take a break and paint something different. I hope you found the video useful, and I'll see you again next week.